Hello, everyone, and greetings from Cedarville, part two of the Parable Project here. Just finished up the other requirements for that and ending with my video here. Again, Stephen Schindler, I just wanted to start off by saying it's been enjoyable to walk through this class with you. Although we haven't had as much interaction classmate to classmate as what we have had in other classes, I've appreciated going through and listening to your parables, the memorization, of course, just the main points that we have, and I've enjoyed it, and quite frankly, didn't know how much I would enjoy it, and so the Lord has been gracious to me just throughout the process. And so I've appreciated your comments to my parable. I have greatly appreciated commenting and getting to know you all and just your hearts through it. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes of this video sharing with you a little bit about my parable project, maybe some challenges that I faced and some things that stood out to me throughout the class. Just a moment of transparency here. The ministry of teaching and preaching in general is pretty intimidating to me. It's not something I think comes naturally. I think the weight of reading and communicating God's word to an audience just weighs on me quite a bit. And it's been that way for as long as I can remember. And so the Lord has given me some opportunities in ministry here through the local church that we attend to do that. And I feel like I'm growing, but a lot of opportunities to continue to grow. I have not arrived and probably never will. And so this class certainly reached me and pushed me out of my comfort zone a bit. So just a few things here, that stuck out to me. I would say the opportunity to make my teaching and preaching more personal. I was pretty surprised just by Hutch and his comments to every single assignment that I posted. I mean, paragraphs and paragraphs of his thoughts about me and my teaching and my preaching, and some of my answers to the questions on the reading and reflection posts. But one thing that continued to come out was just my ability to make things more personal. And so I tried to focus on that, as we went along, as certainly, throughout this parable project. How can I make it more personal? That was something that really stuck out. So Hutch, I appreciate your comments. Because we spent so much time in parables, chapter 7 of our text really hit on parables. I spent a lot of time there because I knew we had the parable project. And so how to teach a parable, like I'm doing now, but also in sermon manuscripts and devotional guides and Facebook blog posts and all kinds of different things. I appreciated learning more about parables, how to teach parables and preach parables. But much like I said earlier, parables also are pretty intimidating to me. I think even in my own walk, in my own quiet time, I get to the Gospels, I read parables, I'll get to the end of a parable, and in my mind I'm like, wow, I don't even know what was trying to be communicated. How can I apply this to my life? And so that was something that really stretched me. I think that parables are special. One thing that I learned throughout this class was parables are direct access to the heart of Jesus. And so at times where it takes me time to read and reread and maybe read a commentary or two, it really has allowed me to understand the heart and the motive behind Jesus and his ministry. And so just a great lesson for me to learn, that it may take some time to fully learn it, but it was something that really stuck out to me throughout this class. I did the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, and Luke's Gospel, chapter 18. That's a parable that stuck out to me prior to this class. I saw when it was on the parable list, that was what I wanted to do. That was a parable I wanted to memorize and dive deep into. I just love the lesson it has on humility. The lesson it has on humbling yourself, and it even says, those who humble yourself will be exalted in verse 14. Great promise from the person of Jesus. And just the lesson on humility, the posture of prayer. One thing that I learned, it was a bit of a challenge to me, was it was just a lot of content. I found myself feeling like I was being repetitive, but that was okay, I think. 5 verses, the memorization was a little easier, but I would say just the content of it and making sure that I was really applying application and things for people to grow in from this parable. I think from devotional guide, 7 days, sermon manuscript at times was difficult. And so making sure that there's an opportunity for people to learn and to grow throughout that was a challenge that I kind of saw. So that's a little bit about just main themes of my parables and things that stuck out to me, and of course maybe some challenges I had. Overall, I saw myself grow. I think the Lord used this in a powerful way in my own life, and I hope that it affects ministry that the Lord allows me to have in the future. How can I use the ministry of preaching and the ministry of teaching in my own heart, but also how can I communicate the gospel and the gospel message through Jesus' teachings to others. And I hope that, and my prayer is that he uses me in powerful ways in the future. So again, thanks so much for your time and attention to my parable project. Hutch, I'm thankful for you and just the words that you had for me throughout this class. And yeah, so thanks so much, guys. Have a great Christmas, and I will see you soon.